All right, good evening, everyone. It is 7 o'clock, Tuesday, February 17th. We are in council chambers. This is the official council agenda for the city of Hannibal. At this time, I ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilwoman Azatea. Councilman Cohen. Councilman Leaders. Here. Councilman Fleetwood. Mayor Pro Tem Munger.
Here.
Councilman Haycraft.
Here.
Mayor McCoy.
Here. There being a quorum, I call the meeting to order. This time, I ask Mayor Pro Tem Munger to give the invocation.
Father God, we just come before you and we ask you to give us wisdom as we continue to lead. Give us guidance in everything that we do. And Lord, we just ask for continued safety over our community. Lord, we thank you. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Ms. Benjamin, would you kindly lead us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Council, at this time, if you are interested or so inclined, I would entertain a motion to excuse Councilmember Fleetwood, who is at a training out of town, and Councilmember Cohen, who is under the weather.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
A motion and a second to excuse both council members. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is approval of the minutes from the regularly scheduled council meeting on February 3rd, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is approval of payroll and claims from the first half, February 2026.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion on that, council? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up on the agenda, we have public comments. We had a few people sign up, I guess. 3 lines here. The first line is myself, and I wanted to address the council chambers, the council, and the citizens of Hannibal as a whole. As many of you know, the Board of Public Works held a public hearing tonight for a proposed 7% rate increase. Many council members actually.
Train.
Yep. Sorry. You want me to wait on the train?
Loud.
So James is stuck behind
still
that
there.
train, so he'll be here in a minute. But can everybody in the back hear me? I guess. Okay. Anyway, they had that public hearing for proposed 7% rate increase. Everybody, the entire council that's here, including myself and Melissa, were at that meeting tonight. It lasted about 2 hours. There was a lot of good engagement, a lot of good questions were asked, some hard questions and some tough questions. One question that I specifically asked the Board of Public Works was to consider having another hearing this week, later on this week, sometime before they made their decision, so the public that works during the day has an opportunity to go to the meeting. I've received a lot of feedback from that. I know the council has also received a lot of feedback from that. They did not immediately answer, and at the end of the meeting, when I asked their board chairman if they would commit to having that meeting, he flat out said no. So their meeting is still going on right now. I assume that they will take action on that tonight, but I just wanted to make everybody aware the citizens that elected this council and elected your representatives here do care about you and are trying to do the right thing. So I just wanted to publicly say that. So thank you all very much. Next on the agenda is Cindy Benjamin. Come on up, Cindy. Is that mic on? I think that mic's on, Cindy. You can turn it.
I'm short.
There you go. Yep, perfect.
Okay. All right. My name is Cindy Benjamin. It says spell your name. CINDY BENJAMIN. Good evening, City Council. I want to thank you all for allowing me to speak. I am Cindy Benjamin. I am here on behalf of my son, Christopher Benjamin, who owns 213 Broadway. He purchased it June the 1st, 2020. This is in regards to the city wanting to obtain permission to be on 213 Broadway. September the 29th of 2025 at the Elite Performing Arts Center, Mayor Darrell McCoy asked me to go outside if we could talk. I told him I would. He wanted Christopher's phone number and email. I told him October the 2nd through the 4th was Christopher's busiest week of the year. October the 5th, I messaged Christopher's phone number and email to Darrell, had said he would call Monday morning. Christopher was informed that he would call. The day came and went. No one had emailed him or called him, and he didn't get any response. October the 7th, City Council, you all took action against Christopher. December the 17th of 2025, he was served a summons in civil case. It was dated November the 17th of 2025. December the 22nd of 2025 at 3:10 p.m., Andy Dorian emailed attached agreements and wanted original hard copies signed and notarized, then mailed back to City Hall. That means Christopher and him had come to an agreement. Christopher, on December the 22nd, 2025 at 5:12 p.m., Christopher thanked Andy for sending the documents. Going to go to the bank December the 23rd to have the documents notarized and mailed. December the 26th of 2025 at 11:31 a.m., Andy Dorian emailed to Christopher thanking him for letting him know and that the check will be cut and ready for to be mailed when the documents were received. December the 19th of 2025, furniture was stacked on 213 Broadway, and I called the authorities to see about having something done with that. December the 31st, 2025, two cars were parked on 213 Broadway that happened to belong to the Smith family that had no permission to be on the property. They had run an electric cord across 213 Broadway and up and over top of 211 Broadway into their property that they have that used to be the Vac Shack. I have been keeping watch on 211 and 213 Broadway forever. When I noticed that the work had stopped and the equipment was gone, I started inquiring about what was going on. January the 9th, I stopped in Mark Kempker's office. The secretary said he was out and would be back until Monday. On January the 12th, I stopped in Mark's office and no, he isn't in. January the 19th, I stopped and asked if she would take a message, and I left my name and number and question that I wanted answered. I have never gotten a reply. The question was, is the city giving Mr. Smith 211 Broadway? In October of 2025, Christopher had asked April Azate about inquiring options to purchase 211 Broadway. There we are, 2026. Why is this property not offered to the public for a bid on it? Christopher has been in contact with April Azate, who is his city council person for his ward. He has spoken with Mark Kempker, James Lemons, Andy Dorian, James Smith, and Donna Heiser. James Smith lied to this council and started this yet another nightmare for our family. He put words in my son's mouth that he did not say. My son was never contacted before you all voted to serve him papers. Christopher has tried to resolve this issue from Kansas City, Missouri, when a simple teleconference could have saved a lot of grief. I want to thank you all for the time and hope that everyone in the same room at the same time with the same information helps. For 2002 till we are here at 2026, and it is an ongoing problem. This has been a nightmare for my family. Let's do better, let's get better, and let's communicate better. Communication is the key.
Thanks, Cindy. I just want to have a couple quick things. On one, you're exactly right about our interaction when we met and spoke. And I just did double check and go back and look through my phone where you did communicate Chris's phone number and email address to me. I did call him the next week. I think it was Monday or Tuesday because you said he had the dance recital that weekend, if I remember right, and not to bother him. And so try to do that. In the meantime, we had discussed a lot of this stuff and with Andy and April.
All the dates and everything I gave to Andy and the mayor.
And as the councilwoman, it was agreed to avoid confusion and him, like me trying to say this or whatever, that April agreed that she would do all the communication with Chris. And I believe it was our understanding that she did talk to Chris before we voted to submit the legal letter to him. And then I think, did you speak with James last week?
Yes.
About the building? And
Yes, just a few
And
days
just to
ago.
clarify, Mayor, she reached out to me and I advised her to reach out to James as to what to say to her.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm
And
just
so I believe she did.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I'm just asking. So like you said, we're all in the same room. We're all
Right.
same. We're all here. We
That's-
might as
yeah.
well just ask and find
Exactly,
out. So,
right.
And there was a bit of a gap between Christopher and I speaking because Andy had told me that they had reached an agreement as far as city getting permission to use the property. And so I didn't think there was a need to be in communication at that point because, again, all the dates and information she just said I had given to both of you guys.
yeah, I mean, and I apologize, Cindy, that you feel slighted on that. I truly don't believe it was anybody's intent to do that, and it's my understanding that this has been rectified now. Is that
I talked to Christopher today. Everything's done, and we have the agreement. The check's been sent. So,
Okay.
okay? Anything else?
I still don't have the answer to the question. Are you all giving James Smith
Cindy,
211
I
Broadway?
answered that question for you.
And,
No one, I told you,
Yeah,
I told you that there has been a proposal submitted. I told you that it is something that's being negotiated, and I told you that there's been no formal agreement entered into. So that building is still owned by the city, and at this point in time, there's nothing else going on. But I told you that it was
Yeah.
that there were negotiations going on, and I also told you that the last position we had, the last request that was made of us, we had rejected, and we were waiting to hear back. And I hadn't heard that as of, well, going to the Board of Public Works meeting. I presume Andy hadn't heard anything either. So,
Okay.
it is. I did answer that question
Okay.
to you last week.
well, and I did, and things can happen, and
Sure,
in
but it
quick
is,
time, so-
there is still negotiation ongoing, but there has been nothing resolved there.
okay. All right,
Okay.
okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. All right. Next up for public comment, we have Todd and Austin Curry, Jessica Bonvillian, and I apologize, I cannot read that last name. You guys come on up to the mic.
So I'm Todd Curry. This is my son, Austin Curry. We own the Mark Twain Cave and the Hannibal Tour Company. We're here because our 2 parking spots in front of the trolley building were brought up on January 20th. And we just like to explain to you why they're important to us. First off, I'd like to say that we love Hannibal, and we work hard every day to increase tourism in Hannibal. Got a lot of plans down the road. We're not going anywhere.
Hey, Todd, will you lean into the microphone just a little bit? Sorry, it's kind of hard to hear with the fans and everything sometimes.
Sure. Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So at any rate, we love Hannibal, and we want to be here for a long time, and we want to grow, and we think Hannibal has the ability to explode from a tourism standpoint. The trolley, I think, is not only important to us, it's also important to people downtown. When we do our trolley tour, we talk about the good things of Hannibal. We specifically talk about businesses on Main Street. So it's like we're promoting Hannibal all the time with that trolley. And One of the gentlemen told me, the trolley just looks cool sitting on the side of the road. So for 3 decades-ish, the city has allowed the trolley to have those 2 spots, and it's 2, not 3, in front of the trolley building. We've tried our very best to mark those spots as good as we can. We have added a 3rd sign just because there was some confusion with people parking there, and that 3rd sign has really helped with people understanding what's going on there. So, it's a safety issue for us. If we have to load in the street, that's not safe. We have a lot of seniors that are on there, and back to a couple benefits. So we bring a lot of people from our campground downtown, and they shop. If they get off, they're there for an hour and a half minimum. Sometimes they stay till the end of the day. I know on festivals we haul a lot of people down, and I know we're taking up 2 spots, but in reality we're creating more spots because those people don't have to drive their car downtown and find a place to park.
Yes, sir.
So probably at the end of the day, you net more parking spots by us having those. So then the safety aspect, we don't want to double park and load in the street. Sometimes we're there for a few minutes, usually not very long, but too long to block the street. And so from a safety standpoint, we want to park in front of our building and walk people the shortest distance to that trolley. I know there was some conversation about going around the corner or possibly parking behind our building back there. And honestly, those aren't good options for us. One, when we turn the corner, it changes our tour, and now we're not on Main Street, we're going to be in an alley. And then parking behind our building creates a situation where we have to back up. And the most dangerous direction that trolley goes is backwards.
Yes, sir, I agree.
So that's kind of where we stand on the issue. And we like those spots. They help us do our job better.
Okay.
And we've spoken to other businesses downtown that are in support of us having those and appreciate us bringing customers.
Can you talk into the mic?
We've spoke to other businesses downtown that are in support of the spots.
I would love to know those businesses, because every single one I've talked to have not been. And actually, I'm really, really glad that you guys are here tonight, because I was just saying to the city clerk that I had been unable to get a hold of you and was going to call yesterday, but then saw on social media what was happening there, and I just didn't think it was appropriate. I was actually going to table it tonight because I hadn't been able to get a hold of you. So I was glad to see you guys here. But first and foremost, I want you guys to know that I'm in support of any and all businesses downtown. I am beyond thankful that not only the trolley company is there, but the cave. I think what you guys are doing is a phenomenal thing. It just brings more revenue into the community, period. My discrepancy and many others is they feel like it's essentially private to you guys specifically, and no other business gets that.
Yeah, who are you talking about that's not in favor of it?
I don't think that it's really appropriate for me to call out certain business names, but I have gotten signatures from the business owners for the council.
With that said, so we only use those spots part of the day and part of the year. We don't have them year round. So
I think what the problem is, though, when they're not getting used, people still think that they can't park there. So if there was some type of something that we can do to let the public know,
Like a time
As I said,
or something?
because the
we had-
majority of the time they're empty. You're only using it when you're picking up and dropping off. And again, I'm not against, especially for safety reasons and elderly people. I'm all for it. I just don't really know how to let people know when they're not being used during your hours that tourists and the public can park there, I think is also another issue.
Can I
So-
jump in for 1 second, Todd? Sorry.
Sure.
Is this, or do you want to start talking about this as your item? Your
Well,
downtown
I just
parking item?
figured
they have
since
thr-
it is on.
But they have a public comment time, so if you want to keep them up there for your item, then we can move into that.
Well, that's why I
That's
just
okay.
figured I
Yeah.
would that way when it comes, I was going to table it and then I saw them out there. I was like, oh, perfect.
Yep. Nope. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure.
I mean,
No, I will say one thing too. I've been downtown a lot here lately. My daughter goes to dance down there, so we spend a lot of time down there. I have talked to several business owners in that kind of 3-block area. It would be fair for me to say probably 50%. So not all of them. Some of them I know better than others. Out of everybody that I talked to, I had one negative comment about it, and the comment wasn't negative as much as, and I'll just tell you what they said, was that we see the trolley come and go and load and unload in the street, and those cones are there, and they're not utilizing that parking. So their only concern was if that happens in the future, can we just not give them those spots if that's what they're going to do, or use the spots? That was the only negative that I got. And again, that was only, probably less than 50, probably right at 50% of the businesses in that 3-block is the only feedback that I got.
Two things on that. And Andy, it's nice to be able to put a face with the name. There's a tree right there, and that tree needs to be removed or trimmed
back.
Because it scrapes down the side of the trolley and it hits the guest in the face. So it makes it a little hard to get in there. And then also, if there's a car parked there,
Sure.
we can't get in. And as I said earlier, that third sign that we put out was a game changer. Like, it made a huge difference for us. So.
End of the season.
but
Yeah,
it's
but
still
it was-
taking up 3 parking spots,
It's
right?
not taking
No?
up 3, it's taking up 2.
All 3 signs are inside of the 2 spots.
Okay.
What he is saying is he brings more people down there and drops them off than what them 2 parking spots will hold anyway. So, he's bringing more people
Right,
down
but
to
when
that
locals
street.
or tourists are coming down and can't find anywhere to park or feel like they can't park there when they're not open, that's why I'm trying to come to a happy
You can-
medium for everybody.
May I speak to that real quick?
Yeah. Yeah.
So on our signs, it does have the hours on the sign that's posted, and then in the off-season, we actually take those signs all the way down.
Yeah,
So they're
and I know
not
they're
up.
down right now. Mm-hmm. I think that if I'm being completely honest, most people don't take the time to read. They just see like no parking, and then they don't read the little print. Where the tree is at on, I guess that would be Bird Street. This is just a suggestion because, again, I'm trying to find a happy medium for everybody, but I also want it to be fair for all the business owners as well. That tree on the side, and in regards to you saying the direction of your trolley and not wanting to back up, I don't know if this is something that the council would be in favor of, but on Bird Street, if that tree were to be removed or something, it's a nuisance.
So
But parking right there,
The tree in question is not on Bird Street. It's right in front of the trolley building.
I'm talking about the one
And
on
it
the
makes
side.
it hard for us to swing in as early as we need to get as close to the curb as we need to.
in front of the ice cream
I
shop
think-
maybe?
I think that's what Mr. McCoy was talking about, where the trolley hangs out in the street a little bit. A lot of that's because of that tree, and then also if a car is parked there.
So what I was just saying to Andy and what I was trying to say, so alongside there, there's also a hazardous tree that it just hangs low, hangs out into the street. But I was suggesting even if you guys could utilize those spots instead, like facing essentially the wrong way so that you can just pull right onto Main Street, would that be an option?
What are we doing now?
Okay, so you know where you guys are currently like parked? So you're parked facing the lighthouse. If you were to park around the corner but not facing that way, essentially facing the wrong way.
So like back up?
No,
Oh.
I don't even know how to explain this. Okay, so if you're, the normal way you would park in it would be to pull in
Turn
straight.
to the right.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're parking, could you not park facing?
You mean like take the steering wheel and move it to the back of the bus?
That would be ideal, yeah. No,
don't know
but
how to do that.
I'm just saying to where you're not backing up out of like the driveway in the back or something like that, and then can just pull straight onto Main Street. But I guess if you're talking in regards to dropping off, you would still have to pull forward to back up into that spot.
Yeah, the trolley's been going for a long time around Hannibal, and I've never really heard any problems with it until I get in this council, until they brought the trolley back in 21 or 22, I think it was. and now all of a sudden there's some kind of problems with it. You know, they're bringing people to Hannibal. They're dropping them off down there at them businesses and just letting them walk and window shop the whole time they're down there. So I don't see a problem with it.
Well, when you're a business owner downtown, and there's been multiple business owners that have contacted me, it's not fair to offer it to one and not others.
Well, I mean,
I'm trying to find a happy
what are
medium
they
for everybody
complaining
that's
about,
fair.
though? What are they complaining about?
They are getting private parking using public city parking spots given to them to accommodate their customers. No other business is. And so I want to be able to accommodate their customers, especially like elderly handicap, but it's no different than another business having handicap customers. We all want to be able to accommodate customers.
Well, I mean, how many people are actually going to park there if we tell the trolley they can't park there? You know?
What?
I mean, how many customers are going to come and go and use them 2 parking spots if we tell him he can't use it?
Should-
You know
If
what
I
mean?
could,
I don't understand what you're saying.
so, like you're saying they're private spots for our customers. Those customers use downtown.
Yeah,
Like,
but so
they're
do the other
everybody's
businesses.
customer.
So do the other businesses. Like I feel like when
No,
locals or
no
tourists,
other business hauls people downtown to shop other businesses. That's unique to us.
I know, but
And
when-
then while we're on this subject, I was just talking to Tricia, if she could talk for just a second. They had an HHMC meeting, and she quizzed the business owners downtown. Here's what they had to say.
So the HHMC got, some of those members got your letter that you passed out today about the parking
I
survey.
didn't pass out a letter.
Or a survey or
was-
something.
yeah, it was a
So
survey.
it got brought up during the HHMC meeting.
You got cut off.
The HHMC discussed it. They feel that for all the reasons that Todd stated and Austin stated earlier, that it's a positive thing for downtown, for their businesses, and they sent word here tonight that they would like it to continue the way that it
Wild
is.
to me that like I've never.
Okay,
I have
well-
yet to have one business tell me that.
Okay, well, if you would like to come to the HHMC meeting and
I'll just get in contact with you after the meeting because I do want to know.
yeah, so there was, again, like Daryl said, there was one, what I wouldn't really consider negative, but one point that they wanted made very clear to you guys and the council that there are times that vehicles do pull into those spots because they think they can fit because of the spacing of the vehicles down there. So they pull in, the trolley can't get in safely to do their job. So what they're asking for is they want everything to stay the same, but they want these guys to make sure that their employees are pulling the cones, getting the trolley in there safely off of Main Street, getting individuals that have handicaps, elderly people on and off the trolley safely. Their priority is safety.
So in regards to the cone, because I guess before the signs went up, I knew there were cones in those parking spots.
Mm-hmm.
What is the need for those now if the signs are up? People
The
are
cones-
parking in those spots still?
Yeah,
Still?
I'm going to say that the cones, one, is there for the trolley to be able to get in there when they need to get in there. But people do pull into those spots thinking that they can fit, and then that creates a problem for the trolley not to be able to pull in properly.
No, I just honestly didn't know, so I just wanted to clarify that with you guys because I'm like, why do you need the cones to block the spots? Like,
So that's what the HHMC discussed this evening. That's what I'm sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Todd, I have one question for you, maybe Jessica or Austin, is it feasible for you to pull through North Main Street or North First Street up and around? Is that feasible to
North
drive
First.
through that alley? No, she drives, that's why.
that alley is a sharp turn for as big as the trolley is. If I had to take a wild guess, if you're talking about the corner by Bricks, is that what you're talking about?
He's talking about
So
the
two things on that, and Jessica wrote the tour. It not only is harder to do, but it changes the tour and what you can talk about.
So how we have it set now is that we try to highlight businesses all along the route. So if we were to turn and go down that alley as a driver out of a big vehicle, that is a narrow alley. And when we have had to take it for closures or different things, it has multiple times happened that vehicles are going the wrong way or there are individuals walking, and we, again,
So
want to be...
basically two things I'm hearing on that. Number one, as it would be a very tight fit and dangerous, to be driving through there. And then the other thing is, tourists probably don't want to go through Hannibal's alleys.
Right. So our goal and my heart in writing the tour was to share my hometown and to showcase the businesses. And so we talk about businesses. We talk about Clemens, and we talk about the Hickory Stick, and we talk about, our first joke is that the Hickory Stick is a famous quilt shop. Some people say it's the best quilt shop in America, but we try to avoid blanket statements. And so without being able to pass by that, we don't get to share those businesses. Instead, there are people who hop on the trolley, their very first view is the alley behind all those buildings. And so it changes our tour, it's not safe, and it is not Hannibal's best look. And we want to show Hannibal in a positive, gleaming light.
As soon as you said that alley, I was immediately thinking about you turning like in front of Bricks going that way, and it is just too sharp of a turn for as big a, but in regards to the alley in general, back there is not very nice to look at. I think that's something that we also need to address in regards to getting that cleaned up back there. Because, I mean, if I was a tourist, I'd be like, wow. So I understand. I still would like to look into some other options. And Trish, I definitely want to get with you to, I'm being told one thing and you guys are being told, and I'm just trying to come to a happy medium for everybody. I understand both sides. I don't know the solution, but hopefully we can come to one.
So if I could repeat, so we added a third sign, and it drastically helped with cars parking there.
Mm-hmm.
If we could get the tree trimmed that I've talked to you about,
I will talk to Christy, and then
I was going to say that, if you ask Christie. Andy,
ultimately
do
it's
it.
the city's tree, so they can do what they want. But as you guys know, the
Tree ward.
trees have been an issue in the past. So I have no objections to it. We'll go with Christy, and we'll get back with the council.
yeah, if the tree were trimmed, we could cut in quicker and get.
Yep.
So, and I think we have the parking issue fixed with that third sign. It went up near the end of season last year, so you guys didn't see it a lot, but we used to have the two signs and we'd set the cones out. We no longer set the cones out. So I think we've got it under control.
We'll have staff get with you within the next week on the tree, and we'll just have somebody go down and meet with you so we can
It's like one branch.
know what we're doing. So we
One
don't.
branch.
Yeah.
Quick swipe with the trolley.
Probably scratch the heck out of it.
Yeah.
The worst thing is not the scratching, it's that it literally is at the perfect height to smack our guests.
Oh, that's a lovely ride.
Agree.
Okay. What else you got?
Sick.
Sorry, what else do you have?
Oh,
Anything else
nothing.
for this?
That's why I was saying
Okay.
I was going to table it tonight because I hadn't made contact with them yet. So I think once I get with Trisha, we can hopefully.
And I'm
Something out.
hearing, I think, from you and Tricia that the bulk of businesses are okay with it.
From the ones that I've talked to, yeah. And I didn't go attend the meeting. I was at the
I'm
Board of Public Works
dumbfounded by
meeting.
that
but-
because I literally have like signatures from all, and you're more than welcome to look at this. This did not even specifically say the trolley company. It was just in regards to all businesses if they should be granted like parking spots in front of their businesses, and then citizens and tenants downtown.
I don't feel like those spots are like personal parking spots for us. I feel they're a community service.
Right. Have they submitted the letter for this year?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. All right. We'll make sure you get that done. April's coming fast. So I would say at this point, Councilman Hesate is going to talk to them and find out.
Yeah.
But at this point, I would say, unless anybody wants to correct me or do different, I would say business as normal. And then if something changes, then somebody will get back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the investment in the community.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Next item on the agenda is also yours, Councilwoman.
Which one was that? So we already did this, but what was second, or does it matter which order I go in?
Job description.
Yeah, so the strategic planning meeting that we had, I know myself and Melissa and somebody else, another department head, I think, brought this up in regards to job descriptions, and I see that the city clerk had put something in front of our seats tonight, but I just want clarification from each department head in regards to specific job descriptions for each employee, because I cannot tell you how many times, even before being on council, that I've heard city employees say, that's not my job. And now that I'm on council, it's kind of put me in an awkward situation, because I'm like, do you not know what's your job and what's their job? It's very confusing. And on top of that, there's been a couple situations recently where there has been very unhappy citizens in regards to certain situations and certain departments, and just trying to remedy that so there's no confusion between all the departments, and kind of set guidelines and boundaries for any and everything else. I know that Andy and I have talked about this in regards to certain departments. But yeah, I was just gonna say that in regard, like, it was nothing extensive, but just to circle back and say that I think that it's important to get that from all the department heads in regards to the positions of their employees, and I don't want to say necessarily consequences, but repercussions if their job isn't followed or done.
I'd say every department, and Andy, you can jump in, but I would say every department's probably a little bit different as far as like their SOPs and SOGs. You know, the disciplinary process for the fire department is probably not the same as the police department, similar type thing. But I would say, and you can save me, throw me a lifeline whenever you want, but I think all the job descriptions are on file, City Hall, and we can
Melissa
go.
has them all in her office.
Andy, I think Andy reviews those. I mean, the city manager reviews those periodically.
What we try to do, anytime that we have a new job opening, we try to go ahead and revise it. I mean, sometimes we don't have a job opening for 15 years, and so when it comes open, we'll revise it. I would say like Tammy was just, for municipal clerk, we just revised that. IT, we just revised. So we try to revise those anytime new job comes up. But Melissa, you have those all in city shared, right?
Yes. I
Okay.
have them all in city shared, and I have a hard copy in the office of, we try to change them out once you sign, and actually it's you, the mayor, and then myself that all would sign off on the job description, and then we file them. So, but they're definitely available.
So there's current updated job descriptions. Sorry, I couldn't hear you because you
Well,
were checking the microphone.
Again, like Andy said, sometimes we don't hire employees for 10, 15, 20 years, so those job descriptions probably are not as up to date as one that we've hired recently.
But for current employees, they are?
That's when we try to do them, is when somebody is hired, then we try to update the job descriptions then, to bring them into date and stuff.
I can speak for, so Parks and Rec, Street Department, Municipal Court, DPW, Clerk's Office. Basically, I can, every office but Police and Fire. I don't weigh in on the Police and Fire ones. They're their own. But everyone else is updated. I don't know if Chief or Chief can discuss their job descriptions because they're so different. Corporals and lieutenants and all sorts
So
of things.
employees in City Hall specifically are aware, should be aware?
Should be aware. Yeah.
Okay, that's what,
Yep.
Yeah, and when we post a job or anything, we always post the job descriptions with it and that type of thing, so, but they're definitely accessible.
If someone says, that's not my job, you just let me know about it.
well, I was gonna say, as long as they should know, then this is
Yes.
something that can be continued in another meeting.
Okay. Anything else on that one?
Nope, and then the animal ordinance, I need to table as well, because I haven't had a chance to get with Grody or the chief about that either.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion to table that item. Do you want to make a motion?
Yeah.
I have a motion to table that. Give me a second.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor of tabling that item? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Hey,
We'll table
Mayor,
that one.
did-
Yes.
Mayor, I just want to verify, Councilwoman Azatea, you'll let me know when that's ready to go back on the agenda?
Yes.
You don't want it next meeting, just?
I just want to have a chance to talk to the
Okay.
chief and Grody about it is all. While we were talking about that, did she want to talk about this too?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, that's just mine.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
You just want the council to fill that out and turn it back in,
Okay,
right?
sorry.
She put it up here instead of your
Because
mailbox.
budget time is coming.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so that one's tabled, so that's it for you. Next item on the agenda, James Lemon, City Attorney.
Yeah, Mayor, this is in regard to some concerns I had. Auditors have been basically harassing small cities, demanding to go into private areas now. I don't think they've got a good legal basis, but what this does is establish areas that we can restrict the public from going into, and it's going to be things like private offices, places where records are stored, et cetera, et cetera. This is very similar to an ordinance I just drafted for Palmyra, which they put into effect last month. And there is bill number 26004 to follow. I can answer any questions if anybody had any.
And that's not to say that we're restricting access to public records. You'd still be able to come in and go through the process of inspecting or requesting copies of public records through the law, but this is just a...
Correct. The issue is that when you have an auditor, and look, it's people looking to make content for their social media page, and they'll come in and, well, I'm coming in here because this is a public area. The fact that this is a public building doesn't make all areas public. The ordinance is drafted, specifies that they can come into the council chambers, et cetera, they can come into the public areas. It just allows us to designate, actually allows the city manager to designate that there are places which are not open to the public. The police station, you can't wander through the police station, obviously. There's weapons there, there's things going on. It's pretty basic stuff, and all it does, quite frankly, is really put into an ordinance what we already have the right to do. But it puts it in an ordinance, so because one of the things the auditors will do is say, well, show me a law that says I can't go in there, this is a public building. Right. Well, this is clearly lays out what we have the legal rights to do already.
For my clarification, it's basically a public area, which this would be right now a public area,
this would be
except during the regular days, and it is in authorized personnel only until opened up. So it's basically be opposite.
I addressed council chambers, and I did say to not times when the building is closed to those areas. So yes, that's been addressed also. So
where would these so-called auditors be? Strictly just social media, you said, or would they be legitimate auditors?
no,
They're First Amendment auditors.
Okay.
First
okay.
Amendment
I
auditors.
gotcha. Okay.
They are people looking to make content for their social media, whether that be TikTok, whether that be Facebook, et cetera, and they will come and demand to go places because they want to see what you'll say, and they want to see how you'll respond, and then they'll post it online, et cetera. And the answer is, if you make it clear that you can put up signage that says this is a restricted area, it kind of takes away some of the fun, but also it clarifies it and makes it clear that there's a reason why you can't go in there.
Not to restrict
There's
anybody
an
from
ordinance
getting
that
into
says
that,
it.
but just-
Obviously, you don't get to wander through the fire station. You don't get to wander through the police station, but they make the argument, well, it's a public area, why can't I do it? I have watched them. Sometimes it's amusing, but probably not so amusing to the police officer, whoever else has to deal with them. So this is just setting out what our actual legal rights are.
Okay. Any other questions, council?
Just to clarify, it's not to restrict anyone's constitutional rights.
Munger, you need to get on TikTok and watch these videos.
they're all over.
I know
They're all
exactly
over,
what
yeah.
James is talking about. And these,
And of course, Facebook hears what you're talking about. We talked about this the other day, and I've had all kinds of fun with videos that popped up through there. So if it's said as it's an authorized personnel only, it's covered.
Right. I mean, again, the ordinance narrows it down. I mean, it says you can't go in a file room, you can't go in a private office, you can't go in the police station, but it also says that if they are areas where employees normally allow people to come in, of course you can come in there. It's silliness. I don't even know for sure that we needed to pass an ordinance. However, I have watched enough of those videos that I'm just like, let's state very clearly what rights we have, and it's within our legal rights to say that you can't go in our file rooms, you can't go in the police station, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and then the problem though, I've heard people argue that same argument on some of them TikTok videos and stuff, and people's like, well, the ones holding the camera says, well, I got the right to do my own news media coverage, stuff like that.
And they do. They have the right to go in a public place, et cetera, et cetera. What they don't have the right to do is say, well, just because this building is owned by the public, I can go anywhere I want to, and that's the game they play, and then maybe they'll get arrested or they'll get stopped, and then they've made content, and they'll post it for their followers. Look, I was abused. They blah, 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 blah.
Yes, sir. I agree, man.
Okay. Anything else, council? If
Nothing
not,
on that one.
that's Bill 26-004 to follow for first reading. Next item on the agenda, City Manager Andy Dorian.
Yes, so Mayor, recently the HCDC board voted to ban off-premise signs in the H1 district. Our sign ordinances are very odd. You have the HCDC guidelines, you have the sign ordinances, you have the zoning ordinances, but with the building inspectors and everyone looking, we cannot specifically find where it says off-premise signs are not allowed in the H1 district, and so this would go ahead and ban that. In order for that to be done, the council would have to direct the city attorney to draft that ordinance, and so that is why it is up here.
Andy, are we talking about like billboard signs,
Yeah.
chalkboards?
They're more like billboard signs. It does not reference sandwich boards. They are advertising signs that you'd have, like at your building, advertising signs for a business outside of your own. So it'd be a building. Say you're going to do an insurance company or something on the side of your building, or you know what I'm saying? That's what it would ban.
But not on city property, on their own property?
On their own property, yeah.
So the premise would be like what Andy said. So your property down there, the lounge, on the side of it, there's that painted bear picture or whatever. But like, let's say that it wasn't there, and you wanted to put up, if you still own the building, you wanted to put up a sign and advertise for a Mexican restaurant. I'm trying to be not specific. But
Lemon Law Firm.
Lemon Law Firm. Very good.
There you go.
We all know that would not happen.
Let's strike that from the record. Anyway, but for example, like that, you would not be allowed to do that with this ordinance change, proposed ordinance change.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. If it's their own, it'd be different if it was city property, but in regards, it's no different than I was under the impression chalkboards weren't allowed. And I've had business owners contact me about chalkboards being on the sidewalk and in the street, and it's very muddy clear.
Steve Terry here, he is the president of HCDC.
Steve Ayers.
Steve Ayers, sorry. And then I think all of you guys have been on there or are on there, so if you guys want to talk to them. But Steve and I talked about sandwich boards last week. That's something that you and I are going to discuss at some point in time coming up, trying to figure that out as well.
Well, and I know when the trolley company, I think it was before you guys owned it, there was some discrepancy on like the side of the building, like the sign. So I don't know if there's different variations when it comes to like the chalkboard, the billboard type, but it's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think that we should dictate what people can do with their own property, though.
It's up to you guys. Staff has not given opinion. So this is, HCDC made the recommendation, so it comes to you guys.
Has there been instances where this has actually been an issue? Where there
2 signs up right now.
are there? Okay.
Which signs?
There's one on the sign of Finn's, and there's one on the side of on the picket fence
The mural?
outside of the barbecue place. There's a metal sign on the side of Finn's right now.
Oh, hanging on the front?
No,
Maybe
right
on the
above the
side.
door where you go in from the patio.
Yeah.
Tree sign,
Yeah.
the tree company sign
Yeah.
that's inside their patio area on the side of their wall.
Correct. If this ordinance change takes place or is approved, then that would not be allowed.
Again, I can't stand behind telling somebody what to do with their own property. That should be totally up to them and up.
Well, just to play devil's advocate, in that district, you've already done a bunch of that. You've already told people a lot of times how they can maintain their property because it's in the historic area, and you know, that's the one district where you all have been doing that.
I mean, to my knowledge, there's a lot of rules and regulations in regards to the HDDC that some people follow, some people don't. But that is appearance-wise for the city itself, or in regards to city property on the city sidewalk. But to dictate what somebody does with their own property, that's not a safety issue, or I don't.
Steve, would you be willing to?
Yeah, maybe you guys could come
testify
up.
The reasoning? Thanks.
Do I have a question, or am I just talking?
Do what?
You can talk.
Is there a question, or am I just
Well,
talking?
just justify what's the reason for the HDDC request to ban those type of signs, off-premise.
When it was brought to us, it was the building inspector, Mike McCart, brought it to us. At the time, what he told us was that the H1, which is our district, was the only zoning district in the city, with the exception of industrial, that did not ban off-premises business signs. And as he described at the time, I thought mainly what we're talking about would be like a billboard type sign. Now, there had been billboards in the past. They've come down. You know, I rented a billboard for 17 years, but that billboard existed prior to East. Once it's down, we don't want billboards going up in the middle of downtown.
But it wouldn't be the middle of downtown and be on their own personal property, right?
What are zoning laws for? I mean, the city tells people what they can do with their personal property all the time. And if, I mean, the whole point of zoning laws and telling people what they can do this is not to protect you, it's to stop your neighbor from, I don't know.
Do whatever they want.
But how's that any different than what the trolley company is doing?
Filling their yard full of old construction equipment, you know.
But how is that any different than what the trolley company is doing, like advertising other businesses? And regardless if it's their own business or another business, it's still advertising. You know, what they're doing is.
You know, I had actually kind of thought before I came up here, prepared a bit of a speech, because this is a take on, and I actually apologize to you guys for how many times the pissing matches that occur downtown end up in front of you, taking up your time. But here's the thing. We take for granted what we have in this town. And I was the one who told these guys that their business with the trolley is freaking cool. I want it on the street. Those trolleys look great. The person who is left out of all of these conversations, and is the most important person, is the customer. We have in this town something that every other town in North Missouri would give whatever to get, and we take it for granted. If you're going to have a tourism-based economy, sometimes you have to make small allowances to allow them to operate. We operate differently. I operate differently than a lube shop, you know, a quick lube shop or a hairdresser or whatever. You know, the customer base is different. If you're going to have this, you've got to make small adjustments and let the businesses function. When I talked with Andy, the issue was off-premises sandwich board signs, which was a big issue. I don't know when that all happened.
The owner of the cheese shop brought it forward.
I think it was pre-COVID. I was surprised how many businesses had that. When you looked at their situations, they needed. One of them was the car locks with the car dealers. They pulled a sign around the main street. I see a tenth of the people in front of my store that they do in the stores in Main Street. If you want my business to exist, you got to make small allowances if you want that type of business. I don't know if this answers your question, but this is just my take on the whole thing. As far as, you know, with HDDC, we would not have the business district that we have now if HDDC had not been set up 40 years ago. They set up with the intent of building a business district based around tourism and based around a historic look. And we've been very successful. I mean, it's not just us, it's all of the businesses that have come here. And what we get, we take for granted. There's a new business coming to town, and I just found out about it, that Chillicothe, Brookfield, St. Joe, their economic development people would have spent tens of thousands of dollars to get that business to move here. And what it is a winery. They're planting grapes. They are, the wife is from Napa Valley. I mean, if they live up to their expectations, this is going to be a great thing. It's something I've always wanted to come here. You guys probably aren't even aware it's happening, you know? They just came here because of what we've got. So my take is,
Protect it.
let business exist, don't stand in the way of them operating. And
It sounds like
it's not this council, it's the whole community takes what we have for granted.
it sounds like that's what you're trying to do, though, because in my mind, it doesn't sound like it's a safety issue. And
What are we talking about? Sandwich board signs, or are we talking about billboards?
I don't. The one on Finn's is a billboard.
It's a metal sign. It would fall under this as an
Okay.
When we
So,
passed
not
when we
sandwich
passed our addition to the guidance, what we were trying to do, and the building inspectors were there, we were trying to just become consistent with the zoning rules of the rest of the city. What we were talking about was permanently placed signs, either fastened to the side of a building or permanently set into the ground. That was what we were trying to restrict. And I don't want a billboard to go up in the middle of the historic district.
Curiosity, would it be allowed if it was a mural style painting of a business?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Would, if it was a mural style painting of the same billboard, if it was painted as an old school mural?
We have no rules against.
No.
That was a whole nother fight. We have no guidelines against murals. If a mural is an advertisement,
It fits with the.
boy, that opens up a whole can of worms.
My thing is, as a small business owner, obviously we want to make as much revenue as possible. And so, again, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep using you guys, but should they decide to sell advertising slots on the side of their trolley, that's extra money for them, and also advertising another small business. So in my mind, unless it's like a safety issue, other than you guys not liking the look of it, I guess I don't really understand what the big deal would be to allow this.
We don't want billboards.
I know, but what is the reason? You just don't like the look of it?
No, it's not historically appropriate. It's not historically appropriate. And as I say, what we added was we only became consistent with the zoning rules of the rest of the community. It's my understanding that the only zoning area that does not allow, that allows this type of signage is industrial. And I was told that, I assume it's true.
I can't tell you how many times that I've seen banners, even for like the fire department or local charities and stuff, just like on banners on the fencing out front of Finn's, and this would fall into that too. So it's kind of hindering fundraisers and charitable organizations and promoting whatever the fire police have hung on.
You see signs put up on the side of the roads all the time, advertising whatever, and the
I know, but I'm
highway
talking
has rules.
specifically
The highway department
historic.
has rules against it, but they go up and they usually go down before, so
I just don't understand what the issue is other than the look of it, unless it's a safety thing.
Two things. Number one, a banner is not a permanent sign. So you're talking about two different things. Number two, HDDC passed this thinking it was in aligning itself with other ordinances.
correct.
I mean, that's why we passed it.
Which ones?
When we passed that ruling, we were trying to come into
Compliance with the other.
Thank you.
compliance with all of the other zoning districts.
Yeah, that was
how
the
it's presented,
point. That was the point.
And
So,
during the discussion, this is why did we not already have this? And it was just simply something that had been missed, you know? It just had never, you know, lots of things never occurred to you. It just had never been in our rules before, just because we had just simply missed it.
So are you just talking about the historic district, or are you talking about
just
all around
Yeah.
town?
Just the downtown H1 district.
Andy,
I think that, from my understanding is that that language already exists for the rest of the community, with the exception of industrial. That was how it was presented.
Andy, are you just requesting that this be given to Jane, not to go to vote for us?
Correct.
Yes, it's your guys' prerogative if you want them, if you want.
I would like to make a motion to go ahead and direct council to rewrite that as requested, and then we can come back for debate on that at that time. That'd give us more of an opportunity to speak to people
Yeah,
as well.
I was going to say, I would
Find
like
out where
the
we're at.
opportunity to
Put it as ordinance, we will have
Yeah.
2 readings, so.
Correct. Yep. So I have a motion to direct the city attorney to
Thank you, Steve.
bring us back
Thank you,
a,
Steve. Sorry to put you on the
proposed-
spot.
Hey, James, while you're at it, if you could go ahead and do all the signs, all the zonings.
So apparently we need to circle back on the chalkboard because I'm
I-
still confused
okay,
about that.
so-
I thought they weren't allowed. And
I,
Look,
I
I
have
mean-
a motion. I'm still looking for a second.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion second. Now, any other discussion? Sorry.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I kind of agree with them. If it's historic district and they already have a plan in place to where they can't have billboard signs down there, I wouldn't want to change that because they're successful how they are, you know what I mean?
So here's the issue. Our sign ordinances are nightmarish. They are listed in at least 3 different sections. Talk about signs. There's an actual sign section, but then there's listed in each individual zoning. There's things listed and not listed. Andy asked me, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking at it while y'all are talking to me, and I can't tell you right now, sitting here right now, whether off-premises signs are banned any place except I know for sure they're banned in E1. I found that, but I'm going to have to do a good look, and then I can bring an ordinance back to you along with a memo, which I can submit to the council explaining it to you all where I think you are. So, and then
I think
that
we
way
should-
you guys can have a good discussion about what the different zoning ordinance, what the different zones do already, because I know for sure it's banned in E1, but I don't know about
Where is
anyplace
E1,
else.
just out of curiosity?
E1 is supplemental commercial.
that's industrial.
So, what's that?
Isn't that the industrial area?
No, industrial is, wait, I, right? E1 is definitely supplemental commercial,
Okay.
but and they are banned there for some reason. I don't know, but I found that just in my quick look. But oh yeah, F is industrial. Let me do a memo for you guys. Let me look at it and see what's there, because looking at it on my phone, my eyes are old and I'm tired.
So, Mr. Lemon, you're gonna give us more information on the
Correct.
subject
Yep.
before we
Correct.
make a vote on it? All right, I agree with that.
Okay. Anything else? Motion a second on the floor to direct city attorney to bring us back a memo and proposed ordinance for first reading. Any other discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, I have one more. Due to the new guidance from the USDOT regarding DBE requirements, which is the disadvantaged business enterprises, in the past, on any federal funded projects, you're required to have a certain percentage of DBE. They have changed that ruling, and so we already have a grant and a contract out for the Market Street tap sidewalk. So all we need to do is change that to reduce the DBE goal to 0%. Doesn't change the price of the project. It just is changing that in the legal language. So
Any questions on that, council? If not, that's resolution 2592-26 to follow for approval. Anything else, Andy?
that is it.
All right, thank you, sir. Next up, City Clerk, Melissa Cogdill. You're on the clock.
Okay, mine's very non-controversial here, good news. I'm just reporting, every year I report to the council. We did have our MIRMA annual loss prevention evaluation results, and this is a very important safety and evaluation that MIRMA, who is our city insurance, does, and this all contributes to the cost of how much we pay for insurance, along with our workman's comp claims and things like that. Our evaluation was conducted on January the 9th of 2026. I'm pleased to report that this year the city scored a 100%, achieving 1,250 points out of a possible 1,250 points. This really is quite an accomplishment for a city this size. That is not easily done. And this is our second year in a row to do so. As a city official, executive safety officer, and a MIRMA representative, I would like to personally thank the employees, the members of the Executive Safety Committee, the Department safety representatives, and I would really like to thank Britta Dooley my office manager, who does an amazing job getting ready for Myrma to come. We are one of their favorite cities to come to because she has everything ready to go. She is very rough on the employees and the department heads and stuff getting it there, but she is amazing at getting everything. He couldn't have been here more than 15 minutes. Because all of our documents and everything was ready to go. These individuals all contribute to the outcome, achieving the score, and are instrumental in the city's risk management and safety efforts by evaluating, adopting, and implementing necessary safety, monitoring, improvements, and practices. I did attach a copy of the evaluation to the agenda for your review, and the higher evaluation scores do impact the amount that the city is assessed by annual premiums, and our premiums are very, very high, so all of these little things matter. And this is really a testament to how hard our staff works, our department heads, our safety team, and that kind of thing, to try to make sure that we keep that cost as low for the taxpayer as we can on the city's insurance.
Very good. The only person you did not thank was yourself, so thank you on behalf of the council for your
Great
hard
job.
work on that. Any council have any questions for Melissa? All right. Next item, Police Chief Jacob Malky. And his assistant.
Oh,
Bring Lieutenant Wolf up here because it was his idea. So, you know, you make the idea, you have to come up here and at least defend it. At least that's what James said in his memo. So,
I did say something along those lines.
he did say something along those lines. Anyway, what we were looking at and what Lieutenant Wolf kind of brought up was that in January 1st, 2021, the state changed basically the age of juveniles to go up to 18 instead of 17. For the majority of my career, when you were 17 and under, you were juvenile. So things like the curfew and other laws kind of apply to that. So with that, we haven't changed our city ordinance, and I believe a significant longer time than that. So all we're looking at doing is essentially changing our ordinance to kind of mirror the state statute, that 211.021, to basically change our age, what we define minors as under the curfew, as 18 instead of 17. And we can take any questions.
Questions on that, council?
I just appreciate this, knowing that my daughter is getting ready to turn 18. So,
Well, it serves a good purpose. You know, if we find juveniles out late at night, early hours of the morning, you know, to contact them, and it kind of in the ordinance, it kind of directs law enforcement to you know, contact their parents and other things before we actually have to take them and do something with them. So it's common sense, and it'll help reduce some of the issues that we have with people just wandering the streets at night.
Yeah, my 12-year-old
About the old days
son
where you just take them to jail and like
stopped
scare
by
'em.
a cop the other night up the street from the house. I didn't even know he was outside. I was in there sleeping. That's the second time he's done that. He done it once when he was 9 years old. Went over a mile away from home to his buddy's house. But now he's 12 and he thinks he could do it again. He really got in trouble this last time. You know, I really
Councilman,
appreciate it.
you know you do have a right against self-incrimination, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have anything for the chief? If not, that'll be Bill 26-003 to follow for first reading. Chief, can I ask you to turn those fans off out in the hallway, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, council, next item we have is Bill number 26-002. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Bill number 26-002, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal amending the annual bid limits in accordance with Section 9.13B of the City of Hannibal Charter. Second and final reading.
I'm sorry, we couldn't hear that. Can you say that again?
Councilwoman Azatea.
I didn't even hear what you said.
You
To be
really
honest.
didn't?
No.
I thought he was messing with me because he always messes with me.
Chief got the fans on high instead of off.
Bill, I was still trying to cool down from the Board of Public Works meeting. It was like 85 degrees in that room.
I think so.
Literally.
Yes.
Bill number 26-002, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal amending the annual bid limits in accordance with Section 9.13B of the City of Hannibal Charter. Second and final reading. Councilwoman Azatea.
Yes.
Councilman Leaders.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Munger.
Yes.
Councilman Haycraft.
Yes.
I now declare Bill number 26-002 duly approved and adopted on this day. Next item we have is Bill number 26-003. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Bill number 26-003, an ordinance revising Chapter 16, miscellaneous provisions and offenses, Article 6, minors by revoking existing sections 16-198 and 16-200 and enacting new replacement sections, first reading.
All right, next item on the agenda is Bill number 26-004. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bill number 26-004, an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 1 in general by adding a new section 2.6 regarding accessible areas of City Hall and other government buildings and parking areas, for first reading.
All right, next item is Resolution 2592-26. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2592-26, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a no-cost change order, one modifying the DBE goal to 0% for the Market Street Sidewalk Tap Grant Project. Councilwoman Azatea?
Yes.
Councilman Leaders?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Munger?
Yes.
Councilman Haycraft?
Yes.
I now declare Resolution 2592-26 duly approved and adopted on this day.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I got a motion and a second to adjourn. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
It's flippin' freezing in here. I just realized what this was about.
You see the irony of what it
used to be
for all those years.
I would like